Hi folks, Nathaniel here at Chicago Music Exchange. So, earlier this week, the Boutique Guitar Showcase was in town, and it's always exciting to have them here at the shop. I mean, we get to see and play some of the most extraordinary, wonderful, beautiful, wacky, wonderful guitars out there, built by the most amazing boutique builders on the planet. So I had the opportunity to sit down with Jamie Gale, the curator of the Boutique Guitar Showcase, and we had the chance to chat about some of the more standout guitars from this year's event.
Here you go, sir.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, should I be holding this a certain way, or
give you a little telly setup if you'd like?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
You know, but we'll set them symmetrical for first. You know.
Is this a good way to hold it? I don't want to be putting too much weight on it.
It's not precious. Right. It's just fine. You can hang on to it. It's solid. It's good German engineering.
Yeah.
He's right. This is a Teufel birdfish. First released in 1995 at the NAMM show. Billy Gibbons grabbed one right away.
Yeah.
You know, he's quoted in the Blue Book of Guitars as saying it's second only to his 59 Pearly Gates. It's an incredible instrument. Everyone thinks it's a design guitar at first, but really this is the ultimate form follows function instrument.
Yeah.
You know, I'll try and make this as succinct as possible, but you know, it's no more and no less than what it must be to be an electric guitar. It's not overdone, it's not underdone. And so, you know, every electric guitar has to have strings because of how we interact with the guitar. We make the notes higher and lower through the fretboard by shortening and lengthening the string, right?
Yeah.
That string energy goes down into a body somehow, right? But what does the body do? They're solid, they're hollow, they're aluminum, they're wood, they're alder, they're maple, all of those things. And the body really affects the tone or the color of the sound, which are not scientific terms, but I think everyone watching this video will know what I mean when I say that.
Yeah.
And if you switch a guitar's body from alder to ash or to maple or mahogany, it makes a substantial difference.
Yeah.
Therefore, if form follows function and the function is color the tone, and you can change the color by changing the wood, you must be able to change the wood in order for it to function properly.
Wow.
So turn it around.
I mean, look at this.
Think of a xylophone. A xylophone has a long wooden bar attached at two nodal points so it can ring true.
Yeah.
So in 30 seconds, I can take off half of this body mass, which by the way, these are alder. They've been hand painted by Uli Teufel for this guitar, but they're alder, and with two screws, I can take off half the body mass and I have a maple bar in my hand. And you can put on the maple, and now you've got half maple.
Yeah.
Another 30 seconds, we take off the other alder bar and put on the maple. Now we've completely changed it over to maple.
Yeah.
It's a faster response, it's cleaner, it's more articulate, just as you expect a maple body guitar to be. And if you want that sort of cushion and sag and you want that chimey sort of sound, that's what the alder's for, right? Bass, treble, less mid-range, right?
Yeah.
So you can switch it back. Now, from there, the next most important thing in an electric guitar that you must have, of course, are the pickups, right? But again, pickups, humbuckers, single coils. If it's a humbucker, do we overwind it? Is it underwound? What are we doing with it?
Yeah.
They all make a difference. And the same pickup sounds different here than it does here, right? So if we know that changing the pickups makes a substantial difference, yet you can't easily change a pickup, the form is inhibiting the function. So on this guitar, you can change them. You can change the angle of the pickup, the height of the pickup, and within, like, again, time this 10 seconds or less, I can pull out a pickup
5 seconds
and change it. Yeah, this is the humbucker number 1 on this.
Yeah.
And it comes with 5 pickups.
Yeah.
So it's got 3 different wound humbuckers and 2 single coils, 1 wound right and 1 wound left. So you can get phase canceling with it. And from there, you go out to a control cabinet, which has a 5-way switch, a volume and a tone. And if you like to play more Stratocaster style and have your volume close, you can have it. If you're clumsy like me and inadvertently turn down your volume / gain, I move it away.
Yeah.
You know, we've all experienced that. We have our preferences. And so you wonder how this guitar sounds. Well, it sounds incredible because it is no more and no less than what it must be.
Yeah. What have we got here?
Yeah, this is a wonderful archtop by Gallup Guitars. Brian Gallup is only about 40 miles north of Kalamazoo in Big Rapids, Michigan. Born and raised there. Does a lot of restoration of vintage guitars and is one of the most important guitar makers in the world, with the Gallup School also creating many guitar makers.
Yeah.
And since it's the centennial of the archtop guitar, I mean 1922, here we are in 2022, 100 years later.
100 years later.
I asked Brian to make sort of an L5-like archtop guitar, but with what we know 100 years later.
Yeah.
And this is it. And so we know a lot more about wood, we know a lot more about the bracing and finishes, but also pickups. You know, bronze strings give it a big dynamic range, but typical magnetic pickups don't work for bronze strings. And so this is something Ken Parker worked with his pickup maker together, and the results are fantastic.
I mean, all the little details. I know we were kind of speaking about it, kind of off camera. Just little things here and there around the pickup. Just, I mean, even the back of it. I mean, that's just gorgeous. Look at that. You know.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable to play. Great sounding. Again, it's all the little details that I love. It's quite a stunning guitar.
That's one of the things that came from the last 100 years is, you know, that was a factory guitar 100 years ago. And now with so many great boutique luthiers, there's room for personal expression.
Yeah.
It's all those details that you're talking about that are his personal expression of the guitar.
Yeah, no, incredible guitar. I've been playing this a little bit and I've already kind of fallen in love. I have seen these before. I've seen them at the NAMM show. Love these guitars. Anything more you can tell me about them?
Well, I mean, Max Bone is an incredibly talented young guitar maker. He's only 27 years old, and some of the most brilliant and well-respected guitar makers in the world showed me to Max and said, you need to meet this kid. He's doing great stuff. And you just played it. It's there. Things that aren't so obvious on a camera is it's a 12th fret join on this one. You know, he's got some wonderful details where he matches the headstock by putting a spruce overlay up here and getting the same inlays that carry on throughout it. Max spends a lot of time making sure he gets a unique and interesting sort of rosette, if you will, pattern on each individual guitar, and ties it in very nicely on the back, which you pointed out a moment ago. I don't know if you flipped around for the camera.
I mean, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Beautiful piece. There is a Laska-inspired armrest here, though it's very subtle. So the camera picks it up. It's not a 90-degree angle here. It's rounded over a little more.
I can see it,
but not as much as you might see on some other guitar makers who are doing it.
Just a beautiful guitar, and like a very big, boomy kind of sound, very dynamic range to it. Just an incredible guitar.
Yeah. For the acoustic guitar geeks, he's out of the Irvin Samaji school. So Irvin Samaji to Raymond Kraut, and Max studied with Raymond Kraut. So that'll mean something to certain folks.
Incredible. Well, where do we start here? This is incredible.
In the late 1960s. So I've actually had people ask me if we're doing vintage guitars on the tour, because this is a Veleno guitar, which is a unicorn in the vintage and collectible guitar industry. Because in the late 1960s, early 70s, these guitars were owned and performed with by Todd Lundgren, Eric Clapton, even Kurt Cobain recorded with Todd Rundgren's Veleno guitar before he died, obviously. And so if you ever find them in the used market, they sell between $20,000 and $30,000 and exist on the market for days, go very, very quickly. It's gone. And what's interesting right now is we are not doing used guitars or vintage guitars on the BGS tour, but what the Veleno family, there were 6 remaining bodies that were unfinished from their dad's work, and they've partnered with a guitar maker to finish his pieces. So these are more or less new old stock. They were actually created and worked on by Mr. Veleno back in the day, and
I mean, that's a nice touch
bring
to
it
see
back.
it being brought back,
Yeah.
an unfinished type of
Yeah,
thing. Right?
yeah. Lou Reed, Dwayne Allman, like really, the list, you read through it and you're like, how have I not heard of this guitar before?
Yeah, I'm quite ashamed that I haven't, come across this before. I mean,
Yeah.
for you to say that this was been around since basically the 60s.
Yeah.
I look at this and I think the 60s.
Yeah.
It's
So he worked
crazy.
for NASA. He was
Yeah.
he made the control panels for the space shuttles and made these in his spare time. This is an unusual one, the Egyptian Ankh in
Yeah.
styling. The other ones were more or less a double cutaway sort of Telecaster sort of style.
Yeah.
He made very, very few of these, so it makes it even more collectible. And it's resonant. It's light,
Yeah.
right? You picked it up.
Yeah,
you thought
yeah.
it was gonna be a boat
I thought
anchor,
I was
it's
going to have
not.
to warm up before I picked it up or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's incredible.
So, super rare and is going to be a crowning piece of someone's collection because
absolutely.
your buddy simply can't have one.
Yeah. So, what have we got next? What have we got here?
Yeah, this is Robert Robinson Acoustics, actually local to Chicago Music Exchange. He's here in Chicago.
Yeah.
Trained as a classical guitar maker many years ago, and then Bob started a high-end furniture company with his wife here, which does fantastic work. They're world-renowned, and he learned a bunch of things that just guitar makers never know.
Yeah.
He works with wood and with metal, and there's joints here. I mean, when you see up close the purfling line across here and the back of the heel and the way he does it, it's just immaculate. It's perfect. But look at the clever joint there.
Yeah.
Look at the access to the neck, the way he's mounted the neck on top of the body there, the heel, it's shifted over.
Yeah.
It's unusual, but it doesn't look odd, does it? It
no.
just works.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
Solid walnut back that's being carved. So this is not just on the radius dish. This one's actually being carved out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, really beautiful appointments. Most of it you can see by the eye here.
Yeah.
He accomplishes so much with simple lines, not adornments.
Yeah.
There's no flashy colors, no flashy shell, but yet you look at this guitar and
It's classy.
Classy,
still,
isn't it?
But I love the hint of like a gypsy jazz type of look to it. That's,
there's definitely minutiae references here for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another gorgeous guitar.
Yeah, it's broken a lot of hearts on tour so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wraps up the Boutique Guitar Showcase event for this year. I mean, we're already looking forward to next year. It's always a lot of fun and a privilege to play some of the most incredible guitars in the world, built by the most incredible luthiers. Big thanks to Jamie Gale and the whole family for organising it. Of course, if you're interested in some of the guitars that we've shown you, please go and check out the website. See you soon.